Hey! Is the noon train on time?
Supposed to be.
Feels like it's time.
Fair enough.
BB and Jack Frost. What's up, party people? How's everybody doing? I'm hoping everybody's having a beautiful day. We got some stuff to talk about. So today we're going to be talking about the 50 Cent situation that's going on with T.I.'s and also going on with Papoose over these. And we're going to talk a little bit more politics, obviously, because we talk politics every day. Hold on. I don't like where this is. Yeah, now it looks like I'm looking right at you. So we're going to talk a little bit of politics also today. But before we start off the show, I want to say something. So somebody had brought to attention something about 2 or 3 months ago to me. And yesterday I scrolled past something, just laughing at something that, laughing, whether it was right or wrong, I was laughing. And I saw a comment, and I want to be clear about something. I have never, just so we could be clear, I never wanted to actually produce a podcast. I've always been willing to go on a podcast. If it's someone else's, I've always been willing to do interviews, discussions, and things of sorts. But I have no interest in producing a podcast myself. The only reason why we have ever had a podcast, we had the Wokecast previously. The only reason why we had a podcast, because there were some people who I thought were my friends. They wanted a podcast. I had the ability to make a podcast. So since they were my friends, I just did it because that was something that they wanted to do. And to be perfectly honest with you, I didn't make any money off of the podcast because we weren't able to take it to where we can now get it monetized. If you think the monetization that comes from YouTube for some podcast that gets, 10,000 views, that's not money. You understand what I'm saying? Like if your podcast isn't doing hundreds of thousands to 1 million views on YouTube, you're not making money that way. You have to get actual advertisers, pardon me. So for anybody that's saying that somebody created a podcast and, oh man, I missed out. I did not miss out. I get right now to magnify the Lord's name every day, physically out. Every day I go outside, physically in the streets. That's something that touches my heart. Not me gossiping or talking about some shit that I don't really care about most of the time. And that's why we don't really do hip hop that much anymore. But if you guys talked hip hop in the chat, I would then cover hip hop because you guys are part of the community and this is something that you want. But since people don't really talk about hip hop in the chat, I don't really cover it because I don't really care about most of these things that's going on, and the majority of the time I've done told you so. So we will be discussing this T.I. And I'm going to tell you why we're discussing it. We will be discussing this T.I. 50 situation, but I wouldn't be talking about this if Papoose did not get involved. I'm going to tell y'all a story. I don't like Pat. I don't like him. I'm going to explain why. There was an event, and this is also why I don't like my son. There was an event. I don't care if you talk crazy about me. I don't care if when I show up to an event or something like that, you want to ignore me. I don't really care. I don't really care to talk to anyone. I know I say that, and I know people don't believe me, but it's true. I believe. Trust me, it's true. I showed up to an event that Papoose was at. Papoose is one of my brother's favorite rappers. I showed up to an event where Papoose was at. My brother just wanted to say hi to him. You know, this rap bastard ran with his security, not running from me out of fear, just so we could be clear. It wasn't out of fear, but he ran from where me and my brother was and jumped in the vehicle and pulled off before the event even started. He could have stopped for 1 second and said hi to my brother. My brother loved Papoose. So I don't like Pat. And if y'all know anything about me, I took that personal. At that same event, one of the reasons why I think Pat did what he did was because my son was running around the event telling everybody don't talk to me. My son works for the enemy, you rat bastards. He works for the enemy. Every single thing that my son pushes hurts the black community. Y'all just don't see it because he hides all of this behind street code. Y'all know this street code that y'all follow was created by teenagers? Teenagers! Teenagers like from the 70s and the 60s, and they created the damn street code you fools are living by. People who the frontal cortex of their brains haven't even yet fully developed the freaking codes that the streets are currently living by. What up, KBs? So I don't like Pat. And I really don't like my son. Because Pat just disrespected my brother, who I love and I wish I could talk to. But his wife wants me dead and is always trying to do things to destroy my life. So I can never talk to him again. But I love him. But my son is part of the problem that's destroying our whole entire community. I'm going to get on to the 50 Cent thing, but I just want to point something out, just so we can understand how crazy this is. My son wants to defund trained police officers so random niggas could patrol our streets. Random gang niggas could patrol our streets. I'm going to say this again. My son wants to defund the police so random gang niggas could patrol our streets. The same gang members that's selling your kids drugs. The same gang members that is murdering your kids in the street. The same gang members that's robbing everybody. He wants them to put the actual people who the police is protecting the community from. He wants those people to patrol the streets to protect. What are you talking about, fam? Anyway, so I don't like Pat. Why you disrespect my brother, fam? We about to go in. First thing I want to point out is, Pat, I'm saying this directly to you. Any woman you ever get will always cheat on you because you a beta. I'm going to say this again. Any woman you ever get will always cheat on you because you are a beta. You have been tricked. You have been confused by the stories that women tell about how men are supposed to be. Women don't want a beta, fam. Half of the time women is telling you they want something, it's a damn test. Ignore them. Go about your day. They don't want you to fix the problem. Sometimes they just want to air out their grievances. It's okay. Listen. Then go about your day. Now, I'm not saying that to bash women. But if I'm wrong, then why is the same niggas in every hood fucking all the bitches? Part of my language. But if I'm wrong, why is the same dudes in every hood banging all the broads? The toxic dudes that do none of the things that the women swear they want is banging all the broads, having all the babies. If I'm wrong, why is that a thing? So, Pat, any woman you get is going to cheat on you because you are a beta. Now, that's not saying the woman can't be the celebrity, the one with the talent. Pap has talent, just so we can be clear. He just has no charisma. So, part of having sex is charisma, just so we can be clear. Okay, I'm not gonna go there. But he has no charisma. He does have rap talent, though. Lyrically, just so we can be clear, because this isn't a knock on Pap's talent. Lyrically and wordplay, Pap is probably one of the best rappers of his generation and this generation combined. The problem is he has no charisma. That's the problem. Zero charisma. He's defunct of charisma. His charisma is at negative 50 attributes. You ever seen that movie? Nigga was like, how is cake a weakness? You seen the movie with The Rock and Kevin Hart when they was in the video game? I forgot what the name of the movie is, but Jumanji, the new Jumanji in the video game. I think it was, I forget if it was Jumanji 1 or Jumanji 2, but they were showing their attributes. It was Jumanji 1. They were showing their attributes and their weaknesses. And he was like, how's my weakness cake? That's Pat. So let's get into this 50 thing. First, don't beef with 50. 50 is me with money and clout. I have to work this out with the Lord because I got a problem with forgiveness. I'm just going to be honest with you. I got to pray to the Lord all the time because I have a problem with forgiveness. I literally, just generally have a problem with forgiveness. Now, there are people that I forgive, and there's things that I do forgive, and I do forgive. Don't get this confused. And if I ever have to forgive you for something important, you have zero access to me for the rest of my life, just so we can be clear. Because I'm going to be so upset that I have to forgive you, that I don't never want to talk to you again. Get it? I have a problem with forgiveness. What's up, Jay Reed? So here we have 50 Cent. Let's go back to where it all started. T.I. gets in trouble with the law. T.I. at some point sues some people. T.I. then at some point gets a giant money. Like he got a whole bunch of money or for some kind of thing that was going on. He sued somebody or whatever. I don't know, whatever. So he gets a ton of money. What happened is that shit gets reversed. He got to give all the money back. You know what happens when people get a lump sum of money? You ever see those things where they be like, yo, do you want $20 million today or do you want $5,000 a week or some shit like that? I'm always going to choose the $5,000 a week or whatever the weekly thing is or the monthly thing is. I'm 100% going to choose that. Because the way my mind works is that if I get a lump sum, then I'm going to be able to blow through that. Whereas if I have a payment that's coming every week or every month and it's a nice sum of payment, then that's fine. Even if I never make it up to the amount of money that would have been the lump sum. Because it's about me being able to take care of my needs of the day. And I'm fine. Like, greedy people are always going to choose the lump sum. You understand what I'm saying? Unless the lump sum is like in the billions, like why choose it? It don't make sense. So what happens is he got a lump sum of money. Spent a ton of the money, went out partying, doing all types of different things. Then the shit got reversed. He had to give the money back. But he spent so much of the money. So now he's in a situation where he needs to make a lot of money immediately. So what happens? Versus isn't even a thing anymore, fam. We was talking about Versus 2 years before it started, remember? Anyway, that's neither here nor there. Versus isn't even a thing anymore. What the hell is he still bringing up Versus for? It's not even a thing. But he needs money, and people get paid off of Versus. Your catalog goes through the roof, depending. You might, and like in the case of not Dipset, but D Block, you might, well, Dipset also, but you might get like a whole bunch of tours and everything pop up for you, right? A whole lot of interest now, or reinvested interest in your products or your, you know, your creations. So you're making money. So this is what allegedly T.I. needs right now, because he spent so much of the money that when they say, yo, you got to get that money back, it's not, now he's in debt. So T.I. and T.I.'s family creates a beef with 50 Cent. They're trying to get him to rap in order to get their stuff off the map. T.I. makes some stuff about him, all of his kids. It's crazy. 50 out there talking about how unattractive he believes his wife to be. And I want to say something real quick. You are allowed to like who you like. And I don't care what nobody say. When Escape was younger, I thought Tiny was the only one that I looked at that was like, you know what? If I had to, it was like a gun to my head saying, you gotta choose one. I'm like, that one. It would have been her. So, and not because she's light skinned, just so we could be clear. I probably dated, I dated a lot of light skinned chicks. I dated a lot of Spanish speaking chicks. So I can't even say that. Definitely dated more fair skinned females than brown skinned females. But I think it's close. But you know, I dated like a couple of Italians and stuff like that. So I don't know. Like, is a dark skinned Italian considered like could I put that in the category of I don't know. Anyway, so now 50, being smart, knows that, look, I can make money off of this situation, but we are not helping the enemy, fam. I literally stopped making content because the people that was trying to be my enemy and beef with me online so they could build up their content. So I stopped making content. I started doing other things just to make it so their platform stalled. Fifty is just me with money and clout, fam. I promise you. So check this out. Papoose. I want to get to the Papoose thing, but we got to go through the T.I. thing first. So they all over this social media, as we all know. He's talking crazy about the dude wife. The kids speak up. I'm going to say something, and this is a knock on T.I. I cannot consider you a king. Now you be like, you the king of the South. I don't actually consider you the king of the South. I think Luda's a better rapper, just so we can be clear. There's probably like 3 or 4 other rappers that people could say is in your tier. But I do think that T.I. is an incredible rapper. As far as rapping goes, I think he's not mentioned enough as in the greatest. This is honestly. I've seen him get on too many tracks with other people and absolutely go bananas, go absolutely ballistic. He basically has a Southern accent with a New York style. It's kind of like the same thing going on with the Game. Game like raps like he's from New York, but he talks like he's from the West Coast. You understand what I'm saying? It's kind of like the same thing going on with Game. Game is actually a lot better of a rapper than he get credit for. I think if Game stopped running around actually believing and speaking like he was in a league with certain rappers and instead giving those rappers the respect that they deserve, I think Game would legitimately be seen as the best rapper that ever came out of the West Coast. And I don't think he is, by the way. I think Ice Cube is better, and I think Snoop Dogg is better. But I can't think of another rapper right now that came out of the West Coast that I would say is better than Game, other than those two, off the top of my head at least. I can't think of one. I don't consider Tupac to be from the West Coast. But if you want to say Tupac is from the West Coast, Tupac. I think if Game stopped just give the respect to some of these rappers out there instead of always trying to shit on rappers. I think that he would be so much more appreciated. That's just my opinion. I think he's a dope rapper, fam. I think his first album, even with the 50 help and all that, I don't care if 50 helped him. I don't care about none of that. That first album was bananas. I think Game's first album is top tier, and I think you could put it up against legitimately any album that's ever been released in hip-hop since the beginning of hip-hop. Legitimately. This is just, I gotta cut my nose here. This shit's, bro. That's just legitimately. You know, you understand what I'm saying? Like, I think Game is a great rapper. T.I. is also a great rapper. But I think T.I. has a similar problem than Game. But I don't think T.I. goes that far. I think T.I.'s issue, why we don't allow for him to be on the top of crust, is because he's always, like, speaking to people. He's always talking down to people. We got to lift people up, fam. You'd be surprised how often people feel like you're talking down to them when you're not. So imagine if you're really walking around talking down to people. You understand what I'm saying? I think that's T.I.'s issue in any regard. T.I. cannot call himself a king to me, because if you talk about my wife, first of all, the woman I'm in love with is absolutely beautiful, and I promise you, whoever you are thinking about is not as attractive as her. I promise you, just so we can be clear. So if somebody was to come for my wife, let's say I had a wife of whoever, and there's a ton of people that didn't necessarily think my wife was attractive, and you come for my wife, I got kids that's old enough to take care of the situation, I'm gonna turn to them niggas and say, mind your business. Because that's your mama, but that's my wife. I'm going to go walk out in these streets over here with these brass knuckles, and I'm going to go handle business. Y'all niggas stay inside. So I think T.I. and his whole entire family handled that situation wrong. I think that even if his kids were going to make anything about 50, I think they all have to be together. But I wouldn't have done that. Because there's just certain things you have to do on your own. And protecting your wife is one of those. His kids jumping up and going after 50 gives me the impression like they don't believe that the father could have handled the business. If I was T.I., I would have slapped the shit out of both of them. Especially that little one that don't look like he's his. I'm gonna slap the shit out of him. What are you doing? Out here embarrassing me. Like I can't protect my own wife. So they go on. 50, I'm not even sure entirely how he caught the beef with all the other New York niggas. Let's talk about that for 1 second. 50 went and bought the building that Jim Jones's studio was in, and then locked him out the studio, and forcing Jim Jones to now break into the studio and create criminal charges. Why do y'all beef with this dude? Why? I don't get it. That's diabolical, fam. So hold on. I want to get to the Pap thing, but I want y'all to understand that Pap had no business being in this. None. Every single thing that's about to happen to Pap, he asked for. Clown niggas do clown shit. So pay attention. All of those New York rappers start beefing with 50. Most of it's clout chasing. Some of it ain't clout chasing. Some of it 50 says something to him and they like, we tired of this dude. I'm just being honest with you. Some of it's clout chasing, but some of it is not clout chasing at all. And out of all of the dudes that made a song against 50 from New York, only one of them have the rap skills to even go up against the dude, and that's freaking Fab. Fab is the only one who's lyrically gifted enough to go against 50 and has the charisma. Because, I'm sorry, Jim, you are not a good rapper. You are a viber. If you were really, really smart, let me rephrase that. If you are using the intellect that you probably have, man, my apologies. I just called him dumb. I mean, I don't usually crack myself up when I say certain things that I know nobody got but me, but I try not to because I don't want people to know there was a joke there. Hold on. I gotta blow my nose. Yeah, I don't. I be saying that for everybody that don't know, because you don't understand my humor. I say a lot of jokes all the time that people don't get, and I'm smart enough to get them to fly under the radar. So much so that people that actually know me, like the people that actually know me well enough to call me by my real name, like those people, like they don't talk much around me unless they have something that ain't stupid to be said, because they have no idea if I'm insulting or not. Anyway, if he had any real brains, he'd understand that he's a vibe. He's not a rapper. You are not the best rapper. You shouldn't even attempt to be. You shouldn't even call yourself that. You're a whole vibe, fam. You need to go get some R&B rappers, and you need to get some people that create songs to work with you, because you're a vibe. You don't even need to spit a verse. You could do the hook, and you could get over. You're a vibe. Anyway, I'm not. This isn't a marketing class. In any regard, if you notice, I just want to throw something out there. If you notice, all of those people that used to be with me that I dropped off and was like, I'm not messing with y'all no more. My numbers on this page, my subs on this page keep going up. Their subs stopped. Some of them lost subs. They get the same numbers when they go live. They get the same numbers when they post videos, but they can't grow any further. Because when y'all was working with me, y'all was working with somebody that prayed to the Lord. Y'all was working with somebody that prayed for you. That's who you was working with. Somebody that's literally praying for you. That's who y'all decide to hate. Somebody that prays for you. You're my friend. I'm praying for you. I have a relationship with the Lord. That's who y'all decided to. That's why your shit is. That's why it's doing what it's doing. You understand? Anyway, that's neither here nor there. So I want to be clear about something. I don't want there to be no misunderstanding. T.I. asked for this. The New York rappers asked for this. T.I., he could rap with 50. Fab, he could rap with 50. The rest of them cannot. In no way, shape, or form rap with 50. And when this is how great 50 is. Papoose and Lloyd Banks has the same issue. They have no charisma, but they really good with bars. But they have zero charisma. And 50 turned Lloyd into a star. A star. He has no charisma. He's just an extremely eloquent lyricist. Like his intelligence to me seems like it's up there. But he has no charisma. 50 turned him into a star. Pat, you have the wrong friends. If you had the right friends, you would still be with Remy. I can't stress this enough. So what's the whole Papoose? Because I really want to talk about the Papoose thing. And I know I'm slow walking this and I'm bullshitting and I'm just talking. So I want to be clear about something. Papoose is the woman to his woman. I'm going to say this again. Papoose is the woman to his woman. So basically, when Papoose is in a relationship with a woman, there's two women. Now, I'm not saying he's a bitch. We're not doing that. I'm not saying he's anything else other than he displays feminine traits when he's in a relationship. There is no woman that's going to respect that, fam. There is no woman that's going to respect that. How can she feel safe with you if you just as woman as her? The number one thing that a man is supposed to bring to a relationship is security. That's before anything. That's even before a home and a family. I have to be able to protect you. If you don't feel protected, how could you feel like a woman? How could you enjoy your feminine side if you always have to be on defense and you always have to be looking out to protect yourself and your man? How could you be on your feminine side? It's one of the reasons why it's so important for men to be masculine, and not what women think masculinity is, because women don't understand masculinity, right? Like, very few. So not what a woman thinks masculinity is, but what actual masculinity is. I'm going to tell you how crazy it is. Just how bananas it is. And I want to be, because I don't want to talk about the person. I want to talk about the situation. But there was a specific individual who I know, and every time I get into a conversation with them, there's a couple of people like this, just so we could be clear. So if it is any one person that's like, you talking about me? No, you just want it to be about you. Because there's a couple of people, just off the top of my head, I could think of 3 right now. Like, not even attempting to think. So if you're thinking it's you, you just want it to be you, just so we could be clear. But there's situations that I come across where it's a masculine woman, and she's not a bad woman, she's a nice person. But because of the men that have been in her life, she's had to take on the responsibilities of a man. And there are a lot of women that they have to take on those responsibilities because the men that are in their life, they're just feminine, fam. They don't know how to be a man. They weren't raised. I was raised in a home. So up until I was about 7 years old, up until I got abandoned at about 7, 8 years old, only men lived in my house. Like, only men. When I moved and they came and they rescued me back when I was like about 12, 13 years old, I moved in with my stepmother, yeah, but my family is all men. So I wasn't really raised around this feminine shit. So that's why sometimes I just don't get why people do certain things. I was raised around masculinity. You understand? It drips off of me, fam. So when I have these interactions with these specific people who are not bad people, I'm not dogging them. Some of them get it. Some of them don't. But after a while, you start seeing the femininity come out of these women when they're around me. Because I don't do I don't do none of that girly shit that a lot of y'all guys do. Men walking around looking for shit to complain about, that's feminine. Something needs to be done and you looking around seeing if somebody else is going to do it first, that's feminine. You know what a man does when some shit needs to be done? That needs to be done, let me get to it. That's what a man does. But the men that we have nowadays, y'all trying to always avoid responsibility. You know who avoids responsibility? And this is not me shooting at women, but you know who avoids responsibility? So any woman Pap ever get with is gonna cheat on him because he act like a woman in the relationship. And in the beginning, she's gonna love that because she's gonna consider it being pampered. But after being in that relationship and then looking at her other girlfriends and the wives in her life, she's gonna realize my man ain't a man. And when a masculine man comes around her, she's gonna melt. Not even on purpose. Women are biologically engineered to melt around real masculinity, not this fake shit. That's what women be talking about when they be saying you gotta make their feminine side come out. They're basically saying most of these dudes I run into is bitches. Pardon my language, but that's how you gotta say it. Y'all dudes don't even know how to be masculine. Y'all stand on the corner and gossip. Imagine a man standing around with other men talking about how much they like or don't like another guy. How is that not feminine? You know what me and my friends stand around and talk about? God. You want to know what else me and my friends stand around and talk about? Building shit. We build a ton of stuff for the church. I'm not sure what our next project is going to be, but we're always building stuff for the church. That's what me and my friends are doing. What are your friends doing? Standing on the corner talking about how much I don't like that guy. Standing on the corner waiting to see me so you can smoke a cigarette and try to make me unhappy. That's feminine. Now let's get back to that podcast conversation. One of the main reasons why I'm just not interested in doing a podcast. I mean, if I had a friend and they really wanted to do a podcast and it was about something other than just gossiping, then I'm all for it. I need for y'all to understand. If you go look at any of the Wokecast videos, if I still have any of them up, because I have some people in it now that I don't deal with, so I might have just erased or unlisted them. But if you look at the Wokecast videos, I had a mandate that we had to have an actual topic. An actual topic that needed to be discussed. And it had to be something that was going to help, or we had to have information that would be beneficial to the culture. I had a mandate. I wouldn't show up to the studio unless we had what we were going to do and an idea of where we was going to go. I wouldn't go to the studio. They needed me to get in the studio. That's the eye contact I'm going to give her. So I want to be clear about this. I hear when remember when Pap came out and it was like, yo, Pap is cooking for Clarissa. Pap is doing this for Clarissa. Pap is doing that for Clarissa. He making sure she don't got to do. No, nigga. I don't care how rich we are. I don't want a maid. My wife should be getting up and cooking. I don't care how rich we are. I need to learn some skills if we have a house so I can fix shit myself. Because this is our home. This ain't the maid's home. This ain't the plumber's home. This ain't the electrician's home. I got some friends right now that know how to do all of that stuff. I'm going to call them over, give them a couple of bucks and feed them a meal. Me and my friends is going to take care of that. Now, if it's outside the scope of something me and my friends could do, there'll be one contractor that we deal with. And when we deal with that contractor, we're going to be standing over him, learning how to do the thing if we don't know how to do it. He's our new friend. Happy to pay him. Now I'm going to point something else out. Y'all know weightlifting muscles and muscles are different, right? See, I'm going to explain real quick. When you get your muscles from doing actual things and building your strength that way, you get usable strength. Meaning, I lift a lot of weights as a youth, don't get it confused. But I also, at the same time that I was lifting all of those weights, I worked for a moving company. What do you think made me stronger? Sitting out on my terrace, benching for an hour? Maybe two, because if I'm going to go out there and bench, I'm going to do it right. I'm going to lift up to my max, then I'm going to lift back down to the lowest. I'm going to have the bar bare. I'm going to lift all the way up to my max so I can only do one or two. And then I'm going to take them off the same way I put them back on, and I'm going to lift all the way back down to whatever my lowest is. And then, depending on how many people was outside, I might do it again. I might do it 3 times. Do I got anywhere to go today? What thing makes you think made me stronger? Doing that or working 8 hours straight on a freaking truck, lifting up box after box after box after box after box, and then having to walk the box 20 yards just to put it down and come back and get another one? Moving somebody into a 6th floor apartment building with no elevator. We got to carry couches, washing machines, dryers, armoires. What you think made me stronger? The weights or that? So some of us, we don't have those flabby muscles that look like they're large, but if you touch them, they just indent. Some of us muscles ain't as large, but the actual muscle is stronger. And when you build your muscles that way, you get to keep your speed. Just so we could be clear. So when I look at people like a Pat, and this is no disrespect, even times I've seen 50, that's bloat. Stop eating pork. Stop eating shellfish. That's bloat. I'm just going at Pat right now because I'm pissed off that he did that to my brother and I got the opportunity. I ain't gonna cap. I ain't even talk to my brother no more because his wife want me dead. No reason. She just want me dead. She's just a terrible person. So I want to be clear about this. I don't know if Clarissa Shields cheated on Papoose. I have no idea. But it sure looks like she did. And I'm 100% certain that if she did, or didn't, or whatever, and he leaves her and he gets with another woman, he's going to have the same situation. Because you can't be the bitch in the relationship if you the man. And the wild part is, I don't think Pap could say anything to her because she'd knock his ass out. I seen you put on boxing gloves, fam. Your arms ain't that strong. They just big. You see them dudes put on the boxing gloves and then... Hold on, give me a second. I can't. I thought I put it over here. thought I put it over there. But anyway, I just want to show y'all this also since I'm already standing up. In all things, give thanks. So for everybody that don't know, all of you guys that think you tough, when you actually put on boxing gloves, it's not just that the gloves, like, dudes can't even hold their arms up. You understand? Dudes be having like stupid large arms and shit. And then when they put the boxing gloves on, they punches is like, and the main issue you'll see is when they throw the punch, their arms is gonna go down because the gloves, they're not really strong. Anyway, I laugh at a lot of these dudes that be online and they be putting like the boxing gloves on and they try to show, look, I could throw punches. And then I'm like, yeah, but those gloves are so heavy when you hit like you don't have the strength nor the control. So if you actually hit anybody, I mean, it's not going to really be as hard as you think it is. In any regard. And he got small hands too, like small hands, like small hands. By someone too. I'll be right back. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm laughing at this shit because I just want to be clear about something. Pap got small hands. I'm pretty sure Clarissa Shields' hands is probably larger than that dude's hands. I wouldn't be surprised. She will put the Beatz on this dude. I promise you. A lot of these dudes I'm about to put you on the game, and this is real talk. And this is not a shot at any street nigga. This is just a fact I want to state. A lot of dudes, street nigga or not, right? A lot of dudes, and I'm not saying I'm the best at anything. Don't get this confused. I also don't want no smoke with nobody, just so we can be clear. If something happened, the person created the situation. Not me. In any regard, a lot of these dudes is legitimately only tough when they with their people. You see, a lot of these guys, I've seen me when they haven't had they boys around them. And I'm not a super tough guy, man. I'm a regular dude. I'm like 5'10", maybe 5'11". On a good day, if I go to chiropractic, get my spine, I'm gonna be 6 foot, just so we can be clear, with no shoes. But, you know, if I start standing up straight and all that shit. But I'm about 5'10", 5'11", right? And I've seen a lot of these dudes personal one-on-one, just me and them. There is no shit talking. There's no disrespect, and there's nothing but reverence. You see, my son know me. I grew up busting his whole block's ass in basketball at Malali's Park. Malali's Park in the Bronx. They live up those stairs. On the other side of, what's that, Jerome? On the other side of Jerome Avenue, they live up those stairs. I grew up busting his whole block's ass in basketball. That's a fact. I'm motherfucking Spreewell, nigga. I'm Spreewell. That's what they call me. And when I was out there busting niggas' ass in basketball, it could have been this too. You understand? Spreewell. Now, there's a lot of cool dudes over there, so I'm not shooting at nobody. I'm just saying what it is. Imagine you could put the people in your life that you sent flying with their bags. No, I'm fine. I'm fine with every single person that I kicked. I actually was thinking about unkicking everybody. And a lot of people have gotten unkicked and don't know it. Because I was unkicking, like, I was doing mass releasing people from the graveyard. I just didn't tell nobody about it. Yeah, I don't care. You, fam, you already know I don't know. Pardon me, you already know I don't care. I got 108,000 followers right now on this page. I didn't kick 50,000. I didn't kick 20,000. I didn't kick 10,000. I have 108 right now, and I haven't even been trying to do content. The people that should be concerned and worried is the people that is trying to do as hard as they can and can't even get one of these. And they out here every day plotting and scheming about how they gonna get they whatever the hell up. No, I didn't block you. You didn't say anything worth being blocked. Once again, I block people for insulting me. We're not doing that. I don't block people for having an opinion. I block people for insulting me or doing some weirdo shit in the comment section of other people. That's why people get blocked. I say don't do something and then they just want to try me. And I don't really care about none of this. God got me. If I was to actually tell you about all the blessings that are going on in my life right now, you wouldn't believe it. I promise you wouldn't. And the people that hate me be working overtime in order to try to get in between me and God. So I don't really talk about my blessings. But when I tell you I am supremely blessed, shout out to the Most High, glory be to God, Jesus is King. My blessings is otherworldly. I wish I could talk, but I can't right now. Because I don't believe that this is the time for me to explain how blessed I am. I don't think I'm supposed to be the example for the people on the internet right now. Right now, God is using me as an example for the people in the community that understand how blessed I am. And he's trying to win them over. He's not trying to win y'all guys over right now. I didn't say God don't got everybody. Why would you say that? Do you understand why I be kicking people now? See how he's trying to put words in my mouth now? So just pay attention to everything this guy say. He's going to say I'm saying things I'm not saying and everything. I'm not going to kick him. I'm going to leave him. Hold on. Let me put it up on the screen because I might, because we don't know what's going to happen, right? So look. So this is what this guy is going to do. He's going to come in here and try to, look. Did I say anything that God don't got everybody? What is he talking about? So he just lies? You understand? So this is how these people operate. They just say things that are just not true and disingenuous. And then if you call them out on it, they're going to say it's their opinion. It's not a lie isn't an opinion, fam. You flat out lied. That's not an opinion. It's a lie. So this guy's working, trying to get kicked right now. So we're going to kick him sooner or later, but he hasn't said anything yet worth getting kicked, but he's 100% trying to get kicked. You understand what I'm saying? So after I kick him, don't tell me I'm doing anything wrong, because I'm not. He wants to be kicked, obviously. What the hell? That don't make any sense. I didn't say that God don't got everybody. I just say God got me. If I explain to you how God got me, you probably would change that comment. But it's fine. Because we are supposed to have pride, but we are not supposed to be too prideful. So if I explain to you how God got me, I will be being too prideful. But God got me. God got everybody. God loves us all. What are you doing for God? I've done spoke positively about God at least 4 to 5 times since this show started. I didn't see you say anything positive about God since you got here. Me and you not the same. Copy? I'm actively worshiping the Lord every single opportunity I get. You do it when it's convenient. In any regard. So, Papoose, if you want your woman to be submissive, and we want our women to be submissive, we have to be good shepherds of our women. We have to be good stewards of our women. We have to be masculine, protecting, not, oh, I'm going to do whatever you need, baby. Because sometimes protecting a person we love is telling them no. Sometimes protecting the person we love is making them figure out how to do it on their own. Sometimes protecting the person that we love is getting out of the way and allowing them to fail so they can learn the lesson. That's literally what I believe the issue in our community is. I believe that people are allowing their kids to fail at the things that shouldn't be allowing their kids to fail, and getting in between lessons that the kids needs to learn instead of allowing them to learn the lesson. That's how, no disrespect, but that's how women parent. That's one of the reasons why it's so important to have a male and a female in the household. Because just like those things that the women bring are very, very important, it needs to be tempered with what the male brings. Just like what the male brings doesn't even necessarily need to be tempered by what the woman brings, because what the male teaches the child is responsibility. So you have a lot of men that were raised by, model men and women that were raised by males, and they know responsibility, but they don't understand how to care for another. That's something that the woman teaches you. How to care for each other. You know? Women are so important. I told you. Look. Look. He just admitted that he don't love God the way I love God. Because when I said what I said, he didn't even understand. I was basically saying he don't love God and I do. You know, lack of education. So he responded, that's the first thing I heard of value from your mouth. We're not the same. Yeah, we're not the same. You work for Satan and I work for God. That's literally what I just basically said. And you agreed. I literally just said, basically, that I work for God and you don't. And you said that's the first thing that you could agree on. So nothing else that I said you could agree with. The only thing you could agree with is that you don't love God. That you agree on. Nothing else. Oh, Lord. Anyway. So basically, when people come in here and they try to troll me, I'm always going to make it so that you're on this side of God or you're on that side of God 100% of the time. If you love God, there's just certain things you're not going to say, and there's just certain things you're not going to do. So every single troll that will ever come into my chat, period, I'm going to always position myself behind God. So in order for you to attack me, you got to attack God 100% of the time. You got anything else bad to say about God? Look, he just agreed that he doesn't love God. Just so we can be clear. This is the people y'all guys love. These are the people y'all guys agree with. I don't love idols, Frost. God is a deity. Just so we could be clear about who I be up here disputing with, that y'all guys be agreeing with. This is who y'all guys agree with. People who do not love God. Look. He's so proud that he don't love God. Look how proud he is. He's proud that he don't love God. But also said God got everybody. So he's... Do you understand? They just say the opposite of whatever they think I'm saying. They're like the liberals with Trump. This is a mental illness. Imagine being so full of yourself that you get online and display to as many people as possible that you don't love God. Because you consider God a worthless idol. I'm assuming. Because you said I don't love idols? Anyway, I just wanted to show you the kind of people. These are the people I'm arguing with that you guys are agreeing with. These are the people making videos about me all day. These are the people calling y'all up and trying to find out who know me and contacting them and lying about me. It's these type of people that don't love God or nothing. So then when I go to the individuals that get lied to, that believe it, and I be like trying to explain that these people work for Satan, and they try to tell me I'm exaggerating. I'm not exaggerating, fam. He works for Satan, or she, whoever the fuck that is, works for Satan, fam. And they just acknowledged it. And then doubled down. So all of you people out here in the street that be following behind these people that I walk past, when I say you work for Satan, I'm stating a fact. It's not an opinion. I'm literally stating the fact. Let's get back to Pat. So 50 Cent is beefing with Pat. 50 Cent went and found the dude that Clarissa, what's her name? Clarissa Shields was allegedly sleeping with. I want to say something real quick. I will give Pap this. I have never found Clarissa Shields attractive. But I've seen her in like 2 or 3 photos since. And she is definitely getting prettier. I don't know if it's because black women have this thing, apparently, where we don't get attracted. Well, women in general have this thing. Not all women. Liberal women, I guess. Because it's not conservative women. Conservative women literally try to look good for men. But liberal women have this thing where they're never going to try to look good for a man. They just try to look good for other women. I don't understand that. And then also, I don't want to add this because this is bananas to me. A lot of y'all look like men. And y'all don't look like men because y'all look like men. Y'all look like men because y'all get the same makeup done that all the gay men get. So since y'all having y'all makeup done the same way that the gay men are having their makeup done, y'all just look like y'all a gay man sometimes, even though you are 100% woman. Sometimes dudes might not be talking to you because of that. I'm just being honest with you. Because when I see a female and I'm not really the type of guy to walk around and be like, yo, that bitch is bad. I mean, that's not me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm walking on the street, I might not even see her. You know what I'm saying? I got other things on my mind I'm working on. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I don't walk through the street looking for women. Like, I literally don't do that. I'm not a teenager no more. I'm old enough to know that the majority of the women out here that I can actually get is not good for me. I'm old enough to know that. So I just want to be clear about something. This is the first time I think I've ever looked at her and was like, damn, she's actually not bad looking. I don't know if she changed the way she did her makeup. I don't know if she just happened to be glowing now because she's happy. But that's one of the worst things you could do for someone in women also, because once the woman becomes happy, all of her friends is going to try to remove her from the happiness. So that's another thing. I just want to say this. If you dating a woman and she got like 4 or 5 different female friends, you're never going to not have problems. It's just that's what it is. You're just always going to have problems. There's always going to be at least one of her friends that is not happy for her. And she's going to be constantly trying to talk to her about not being happy with you. I'm going to tell you a real quick story. And this is why this is when I first really started realizing how feminine niggas is. When I was dating Kendra, I used to be working with this dude, right? And mind you, he worked for my father, but he would sometimes have side jobs that he was doing. He from Harlem. He'd probably sometimes have side jobs that he was doing, and he'd hit me up and be like, yo, I need a hand. Do you want to make a couple of extra bucks? And I'd be like, yeah, I ain't doing nothing today. I come down there and help him out. I thought he was my friend. But every time I get around him, he's always trying to say stuff to me to make me think that my woman is doing something she's not supposed to be doing. I just stopped talking to him. After the second time he did that bullshit, I warned him the first time. After the second time he did that, I just stopped talking to him. I don't know if he knows why I stopped talking to him, because why am I telling you? There's no reason for me to have a discussion with you. If you badmouthing my woman, or if you saying some shit to try to make me think that my woman is doing something, no provocation. It's not that she did a thing and then you're like, yo, that seems suspect. Like that I get. But she didn't do anything. You don't know her. You've never met her ever. Your idea is just that all women are cheaters, period. Why would I be friends with you? So now I have a thing where I really, if I get into a relationship with a woman, I kind of can't have single male friends. And that's another reason why I don't really try to make friends no more. Like, I literally don't try to make friends no more. If I make a friend, I make a friend. But I don't try to make friends no more. There's a lot of people that know me that think I'm cool. I got a couple of friends that are actual friends. The majority of the people that I actually consider friends, like 3 of them are probably black. I'm talking about men. Like 3 of them are probably black. 3? Four? Yeah, maybe 4. The majority of my friends just ain't black. They just not. I think black people think you don't got no choice but to be friends with them if you are black. I don't think that way. Like, not even in the slightest. Yeah, majority of my friends. Yeah, so and so now I like, if you're not married and you got a wife, I don't really know what kind of man you are. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm not really trying to be friends with too many people that don't have a wife, because I need to see what kind of man you are. Do you love your wife? Because if you don't love your wife, how could I think that me and you could ever really be friends? How could I believe that you are my friend? I might be your friend, but how could I believe that you are my friend and you're not even a friend of the person who's supposed to be your best friend? So that's the way my mind thinks. I think she cheated on him. I'm just gonna be honest with you. This is gossip if you want to think, but I think she cheated on him. I 100% think she cheated on him. I'm gonna tell you why I think that. I saw the video when she was hanging out with her friends and that dude was there and she seemed so happy. I've never seen her that happy with Papoose. I've never seen her that happy with Papoose. Never, not one time. But when she was there doing the karaoke with the dude around and she was like, hey, doing whatever she was doing. You know what I'm saying? She was doing whatever she was doing and the dude was around and she was doing her karaoke. She was happy. She looked like she was about to have sex. Or she just came from it. Now, for y'all that don't get that, for y'all that don't understand that, That's because maybe y'all don't have women that enjoy sleeping with you. A lot of these women, a lot of y'all got women that don't really enjoy sleeping with you. You know what I'm saying? This is a real talk. And just a whole nother conversation. I think that it's important for a man to learn what a woman enjoys. I think that that's important. Not just to do the stuff you like. I think it's important. And I'm not just talking about in the bedroom. I'm talking about just in general. I think it's important for a man to learn what the woman enjoys. I think, you know, I am my brother's. If I'm my brother's keeper, I'm damn sure my wife's keeper. Her happiness is important to me. That is a responsibility. And my happiness should be a responsibility of hers. It should be important to her. Screw Will Smith and Jada. They on a whole nother time. I should be sitting around trying to figure out ways to surprise and make the woman that I'm with happy. And she should be doing the same with me. This is a healthy relationship. That's a healthy relationship. Pardon me. I think people don't have a lot of healthy relationships now because of the internet. I think, and I think I've probably only seen 2 or 3 BBLs in real life that didn't look bad. I generally think almost all BBLs look bad because I love the natural shape of a woman. Even if she's slim, if she's a little bit bigger than slim, the natural shape of a woman I prefer. A woman that obviously that I find attractive. And this is another reason why God is just great. God is great. God is great. So if you pay attention to the Bible, anytime God wants a man to do a great thing or he has great plans for a man, he gives them a young wife to build a family with. And I think that's something that we have to pay attention to. I'm going to say this again. Whenever God has a great plan for a man, he gives him a young wife to build a family with. And the reason why I believe that this is done is because as we get older, we become more bitter to the world. So sometimes God allows for a man to learn how to treat a woman. And then after he knows how to now treat this extremely precious possession, this thing that needs to be coveted and needs to be, honored in a certain way, then when you learn these things, he now presents the woman to you for you to build the family because y'all have great things down the line. And I think that's one of the reasons why Satan tries so hard to make us believe that you have to be with somebody your same exact age or you're doing something wrong. But when we look in the Bible, people are 50, 60, 70 years older, in some cases 100 years older than the wife they take. Because God has something big planned. And he couldn't give you a woman that was already worldly. He had to give you a woman in order to do these big important things that was not worldly. Because what did God say? If you love the world, you hate him. So we have to be mindful of that. So this is not a knock on the older women that might be single. I'm not shooting at y'all. What I'm saying is that we have a culture that's going on in America specifically, because this culture does not exist in other places. Also, no 14-year-old girl, 14 or 15 years old should be getting married to anybody. That's insane. No 7, 8-year-old girl should be getting married to anybody. That's insane. Just so we can be clear. They got some area where they like 16 years old is consent. I think that's too young. Just so we can be clear. I think 16 is too young for a person to be considered an adult. I think around 18, 19, 20 years old is when a person could be considered an adult and ready to make a family, whether it's a male or female. I don't think a 17-year-old should be out there, unless, I just think that there's room. Obviously, I'm not God, and he knows better than I do. So these are just my own thoughts. But yeah, 15, 16, I think the girl got to be older than that. Just got to. Preferably around 19, 20 at the youngest, before she actually starts making a family. And the reason for that is we want to make sure that, there's mechanisms in place mentally and financially and everything else to make sure that there's no stress or struggle, And I think it's insane that two inexperienced people are now adults because of age, and now they go out into the world and try to create a family, and none of them know nothing about nothing. They don't know nothing about nothing. But they the same age, so let's make sure that they get together and make a family. But they don't know nothing about nothing. So now they struggle for the first 5, 6, 7 years. They might separate. They might divorce because of the struggle. The irony of all of this is, if you go look at the happiest marriages, the male is probably 10 plus years older than the woman in all the happiest marriages. That's because the man got the woman after he learned how to treat a wife. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. So Pap. Now, I want to talk about a video real quick. Did y'all remember the video? And I thought this was a dope video. And and now I'm looking at it totally different. Do y'all remember the video that Clarissa Shields was like cooking eggs or something like that? And then the girl was like, "How do you like your eggs?" And she was like, "I know how my man like my eggs." I'm looking at that video a little bit different now. We're going to talk about Trump in a minute. But I'm looking at that video a little bit different now. A little bit different. That's Clarissa trying to be feminine. That was her feminine moment. Women want to be feminine, fam. They want to be in their femininity, fam. Because when they're in their femininity, that's when they feel the prettiest. That's when they feel the most desirable. So we should always be conducting ourselves in a very manly, masculine, not aggressive, not territorial. Well, maybe territorial, but not aggressive, not destructive, not threatening manner, but in a masculine manner. Because women want to display feminine. That's when they feel their prettiest. That's when they feel they're most attractive. That's when they feel they're most wanted. So we should be attempting to do that. These liberal white women tricked y'all into thinking all masculinity is bad. They tricked you. They tricked a ton of people. But you see, I'm from a different era. Our women don't even look the same anymore. I'm from a different era. I'm from the era where women understood that how powerful being feminine was. Niggas, a masculine, I'm not talking about these feminine dudes. These feminine dudes don't respond to femininity. But a masculine man is going to respond to femininity 100% of the time. He's just gonna, it's just, you don't got no choice. He's gonna bend as much as he can and stay in his masculinity. But if you make him bend and have to move outside of his masculinity, that's when the wall is gonna go up. You understand? Masculine, real men respond to femininity. That's one of the main things I be trying to teach the kids. We don't do that. That's not masculine. We're not going to stand around complaining all day. That's not masculine. We don't watch women do heavy lifting. That's not masculine. We don't watch women do men's work. And I don't care what they say. I don't care how strong they say they are. I don't care. You could do all of this when I'm not around. Right now I'm here. I'm going to do it. When I'm not around, do it yourself. Boom. But right now I'm here. This is my job. And I just don't think Papoose is feminine. Masculine. I don't think my son is masculine either. If my son was masculine, he wouldn't have to constantly be talking about how tough he is. That's a feminine trait. Masculine men don't really talk about how tough they are. That's not really a thing. Yeah, that's not a thing. Masculine men don't really talk about how tough they are. We got stories and stuff, and we might share a story about something that happened. You know what I'm saying? But we don't really stand around talking about, yo, we so tough, sis. We don't do that, fam. Masculine men don't do that. Because of the tragedies that have happened in our community. A lot of tragedies have happened in our community. Some of them we created, some of them happened to us, we did not create. A lot of households had to be raised with women with no men around. It just is what it is. You know, and this is not a knock on women. Just so we could be clear, because when you say certain things, people immediately be like, he's attacking us. No, I'm not. I'm not attacking nobody. I'm saying because of things outside of our control and some things inside of our control that we could have did different. There's a lot of households that were just not raised with men in it. So those young boys was raised with the idea of what a man is supposed to be by a woman that is doing it on her own, and in not all cases, but in many cases are doing the best that she could. Some cases, just like when you have men that's raising kids that don't care, some women don't care. Some men don't care. I was abandoned at 8. So I can never say every man is a great parent. Just so we can be clear. So that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that the thing that allowed for me to grow up in the area and in the way that I'm growing up is because even before I was by myself, I was surrounded by masculinity. And then when I stopped being by myself, I was then re-surrounded with masculinity. A lot of these dudes don't know what masculine is. I don't think Papoose knows what being masculine is. I don't think my son knows what being masculine is. I just don't. I'm going to give you a really good example. Every time somebody says anything to a woman, my son says, why are you arguing with women? No masculine man is ever going to say that in that manner. No, a masculine man is going to say, in my opinion, a woman say something and you feel like you need to respond back to her. I'm going to be like, why you keep telling her? You told her once, you told her twice. That's enough. She's not going to do whatever the thing is you asking her to do. Why are you still talking to her about it? That's masculine energy. Not, yo, men don't argue with women's. That's feminine energy. So you just let a woman do whatever she want to do and just walk all over you? Are you stupid? So because she's a woman, she gets her way 100% of the time? Are you stupid? Now, there's women that I know that I actually do like. Let's be clear on this. I don't dislike them. I like them. But I don't really talk to them that much. Because every time I talk to you, I gotta explain shit to you 4 or 5 times just for us to find out 2 weeks down the road I was right. So now I gotta say something to you, and then I gotta tell you again. When you arguing me down, I don't know what I'm talking about. 2-3 weeks down the road, we find out I'm right. A month down the road, we find out I'm right. In some instances, 5 minutes later, we find out I'm right. That woman is somebody who is never, ever going to accept any information that I have to give her. Why am I giving her any information? So now that the people that is in that bracket, I just stand by and watch them fail. Because, hold on, I'll show you why. Just so we can be clear. Because you're going to be like, oh, you don't care. You a hateful guy. And I thought you loved Christ. And you're supposed to be doing this. And you're supposed to be doing that. Because you... No. We're not doing that. Hold on. I'm going to show you why I do this. I promise you. Almost everything I do it because the Bible says to do it. Not because I'm feeling whatever about whatever. All right, so... advises against wasting wise counsel on a fool. They will scorn you. You know what happens 100% of the time when, certain individuals I'm actually trying to help, they stop talking about whatever I'm trying to help with and talk about all the different things that they hate about me. So I don't help them no more. I don't dislike the person, just so we could be clear. Or the peoples. I don't dislike them, but why am I helping you? That don't make sense. So I'm doing something out of the kindness of my heart, but you busy as you're gonna immediately attack me. You're gonna immediately say hateful things to me. You're gonna immediately be angry at me because whatever the reason is, I don't know. Now I was right about the last 5 things, but still, every time I say something, you just always assume that I'm wrong, and you have to meet me with conflict. You know what a masculine man does? That's not going to help you no more. All help I was given, I'm just going to pull back from. I want you to win. I don't want you to fail. I want you to win. But all help I was given, I'm just going to pull back from. Because this don't make sense. I can't help you. You understand? Like, I can't. You won't accept it. It don't make sense. So that's how I operate. But you want to know what the feminine man is going to do? The feminine man, he's not going to operate that way. The feminine man is going to say, why argue with a woman? And every time she does something that's harmful to herself, or she's going to mess up and screw up, he's just going to be like, nah, you right. And then everything doesn't work out. Something bad happened. Oh, man, I don't know what happened. Yeah, because you're not a leader, my son. You're not a leader, Papoose. So you want to know what happened? Your woman steps out on you. Or you step out on your woman. Yeah, I know your secrets, my son. I can shoot whenever I feel like it. Proverbially. Whenever I feel like it. I can even go get people that know your secret, that'll come on this platform and talk about it. But none of that matters to me. I don't really care about it. Whatever, nigga. Keep it going. Whatever's going on with you, keep it going. I don't know nothing. But Pat, Clarissa Shields is probably sleeping on you. I hope she isn't, but she probably is, because you're a beta, and you're feminine, and you're just feminine. Is it okay to sometimes do some of that feminine stuff for your woman? Yeah, it's okay to sometimes do it. You should never do it, but it's okay sometimes. Do a little bit of extra stuff. But in a relationship, we should have defined roles. If everybody is free to do any old thing and we have no defined roles, how could there be respect? So we should have defined roles. When we wake up in the morning, if I'm the one that cooks breakfast, I should cook breakfast. If you're the one that cooks breakfast, you should cook breakfast. if I'm dating a chick, it's going to be her. Just so we can be clear. I'm going to wake up in the morning and figure out something else that needs to be done. I'm going to see whatever list she has of things around the house that she wants to get done. And I might go do one of those things. She's cooking me breakfast. She needs a thing over there done. Let me go do that for her. That's how masculinity works. Ah, man, she's at home doing all the laundry. What we need done around the house? Let me go do this around the house or do that. You know, I'll help out. I used to work a 6 day a week job when I lived in Georgia. 6 days. Only day we got off was Sunday. It was at a chicken hatchery. If you know anything about working in a chicken hatchery, that is a lot of work. And it's a lot of work. All right? And I used to live with, I was dating this girl at that point named Shanine. And people thought she looked like Erykah Badu. I date a lot of bad. Like, that's how come I just think, I don't know if I'm an attractive dude or not. I think I'm like average or whatever, but I think I got it. I dated some bad shorties, man. Anyway, so everybody else thought she looked like Erykah Badu. I didn't, but other people did. But she was extremely pretty. Just so we could, like, if she, at that age, I'm not sure how she looks now, but if she, at how she looked then, if she lived in Coney Island right now, she would be the second prettiest girl here, hands down. Not even close. Probably 1A and 1B. She would be 1B. It kind of felt good to be dating the prettiest girl in town. There was only one chick in town that I thought was on her level of prettiness, and that girl looked like it was Sean Cooper's sister. I forgot her name. Wait. No. That was not her name. Let me hit my cousin up so I could ask him what her name was. That better not be her name. Hold on. Hook deuce. What the hell? Where's the... Does this account work anymore? I forgot. She looked like Christina Milian. Just like Christina Milian. And I like short girls. And she was short. She looked just like Christina Milian. So yeah, I was literally dating probably the best looking or second best looking girl in town. This is a fact, nigga. Let's go. Anyway, so no, I would come home from work, and I wish I knew how to treat a wife back then, because she was a wife, and I didn't know how to treat a wife at that point in my life, and I feel bad for her, and I reflect on that sometimes, and I was her high school crush. Oh, she went to my high school, and I was her high school crush. Truman, Harriet Truman, in the Bronx, in the Co-op City. Let me see. Hook is probably at work. I'm gonna call him. So, I come home from work and she would have food for me, shower ready, house be clean, like, He probably at work. That's one thing about Hook. He keep a good job. He probably at work. I want to know what that girl name was. It better not be what I'm thinking it is. It better not be what I'm thinking it. It better not be that name. Anyway, my fault. Let me get back to what we're doing. So, like, you have to be masculine. You understand what I'm saying? Like, that's why one of the things that the people that hate me try to always say is, oh, he acting childish. I'm not acting childish. I'm just not doing the thing you want me to do. And you're used to feminine niggas. So when I'm doing masculine shit, to you, you can't understand it. And to you, it looks childish. And to you, it looks like I'm doing some weird shit. But in reality, I'm just doing what the Bible says to do. And I don't care how much you try to shame me. I don't care. If God is good with it, I'm good with it. And every time you try to get me to do something other than what God says is he's good with, I'm 100% going to assume you're working for Satan. 100%. Like, there's not even a question of that. Satan sent you. Because I promise you, if it's something I'm thinking, I've went through the Bible numerous times looking to make sure that I'm correct in these thoughts. Passage after passage, scripture after scripture, precept upon precept. I promise you. Before I make any big decision, I talk to God. This is not a debatable topic. This is just factual. I don't even want to be in a relationship with a woman that I can't pray with. I don't want to be in a relationship with a woman I can't pray with. I don't care if you pray now. You might never have prayed a day in your life, but when we get together, that got to change. I need to be able to bring you to my Father. Now, there's only one female I could even think about that I know right now that my Father said he's okay with. There's only one. Do I know other attractive women? Yeah, there's a ton of attractive women out here in Coney Island, just so we can be clear. I'm not saying that's the only attractive women. I'm just saying that's the only woman I know that God gave me the green light for. That's what I'm saying. He isn't giving me the green light for anybody else. So I'm just not interested. I'm fine dying alone. Like, that's not something I'm going to be upset over. You got dudes out here in relationships with women that they don't even find attractive because they don't want to be alone. I can't even imagine that. You got to have intercourse with somebody that you don't want to be with. It happens to women all the time, but being a man, like, I wouldn't be able to do that. Like, I would physically not be able to do that. And I could tell you because the situation has came about before where I just, like, I can't, like, I have to struggle to perform because I just can't do it. That's masculinity. Sticking to your guns. That's masculinity. I'm talking about everything this morning. It's that open discussion, right? Yeah, it's that open discussion. Talking about everything this morning. Y'all want to talk a little bit about Trump? So just so we could clear it up, 50 absolutely embarrassing these fools. T.I. embarrassed. T.I.'s a sucker. Because why you even... Your son shouldn't... I would have slapped the shit out of my kids. If somebody disrespect my wife, I'm still alive. And they have the nerve to try to speak against that person like I can't do it. It's my job to protect my wife. It's my job to protect y'all. Y'all my kids. I don't care if you 80. If I can still, if I'm in your life, you're allowing me to be in your life. And I'm in your life. Because that's the thing about grown adults. See, when they're a child, you can just be in their life. But when they become grown adults, they have to allow you to be in their life. You understand? Like, it's different. But if you're a grown adult and I'm your parent and I'm in your life and I got my wife and somebody disrespect my wife and you jump out the window, that makes it seem like I can't take care of it. Nigga, get the out of here. You got all the protecting of her when I'm gone. But while I'm here, that's my job. And ain't no man gonna make me feel like I gotta ask for help to defend my wife against his one self. That's just not gonna happen. In any regard. So that was sucker move, in my opinion. What are you doing? I would have. And especially the light-skinned one with the one that don't look like he's his. Nigga, I will whoop you until you look like me. How about that? You better go sit in that corner. Why are you always embarrassing us? Sheesh. So that wouldn't be happening. The situation with the rappers in New York, only one of them actually can rap. I'm sorry, Mano. I don't dislike you at all. I get it. You know, a lot of y'all got to stand on this street politics shit because that's how y'all make y'all money. That's why I'm not mad at Jim. Be like, you know how people be shooting at Jim all the time? Like, yo, you 50, 60 years old. You still dressing like a kid. I'm not mad at you. This is your brand. This is how you make your money. That would be stupid of me to be mad at you. Do I think if you threw on a suit and tie, it actually started getting in that area because you get a deal with Brooks Brothers? Absolutely. I think Jim could get a deal with a Brooks Brothers type of company or firm like this. He just got the wrong people around him giving him the wrong information. They just trying to stay down here instead of elevating themselves. That's it. Jim is considered, and for the y'all that don't get it, Jim is considered a fashion icon. Whether you agree with what he's doing or not, he is considered a fashion icon. If Jim Jones decided to look more corporate, the deals he would get would be ridiculous. He would be able to get just as big of deals as Cameron and Mason is getting. It's just Jim Jones, for whatever his reasoning is, he probably got good reason. I don't know the nigga business. He doesn't want to get to that area because maybe he just feels comfortable where he's at. And if he does, shout out to that. It's not a knock on Jim. Just want to say that. Mano, not a knock on Mano, but none of y'all can rap with 50. None of y'all can rap with 50. None of y'all can rap with Banks. The only one of them that can rap with that dude is freaking Fab. The rest of y'all can't rap with these dudes. Papoose could rap with them, but he doesn't have any charisma. His charisma is like negative 50. I don't know what to tell you. He got terrible charisma. You understand what I'm saying? Like his charisma is horrible. Like horrible. Like he has no personality. But I'm pretty sure he has a lot of personality. We just don't see it. And I want to point something out. When a person doesn't show you the personality that they actually have, that's confidence issues. Or trust issues. Because there's a lot of people who, I'm like this right now in front of y'all, we having fun and stuff like that. And if you are an actual friend of mine, I bug out with you and we have a good time. But you notice when other people come around, I don't really talk around them. When other people come around, that's not confident, that's trust. I don't trust those guys. They just wanna, like I told you, I got weirdos out here that they come and try to have a conversation with me just so they could pretend I'm insulting them. Like, it's crazy. Like, I had this person, like, there's literally a person that they come up to me and say hello to me. And if I say hi to them back, just hi, nothing else. In no way, I could be like, how are you doing today? I could say it like that. And they'd be like, oh, please don't hurt me. There's literally a person that does this to me. And then they go and tell other people they don't know why I don't talk to them. Now they have no idea why I don't talk to them. I see them, I just walk away. That's masculinity. You understand? That person's just a problem. What the hell am I dealing with them I don't wish them no bad. I wish no harm on them. Shout out to you. I hope you just win at everything, except for anything that's gonna hurt me. I will win at everything. but I'm a man, and I'm not gonna deal with that. It's not hate. I have no hate for you. I'm not mad at you. I'm not upset. But I'm a man, and I'm just not gonna deal with that. That's it. I'm perfectly fine with avoiding the problem. And I'm perfectly fine when I avoid the problem, you pretending like I'm scared, or you pretending like whatever the hell you pretending. I don't even care. Because if I didn't avoid the problem, you wouldn't be talking about how pretending you would have actually created a real problem. You understand what I'm saying? Right now, you're going to create a problem either way. So the problem could either be you saying I'm scared, or an actual other fake issue where you say I did a thing that I didn't do. So I'd rather you just say I'm scared, because you're going to say some bullshit anyway, right? So just say I'm scared, whatever, nigga. And you're not going to get the opportunity to tell people I'm doing things I'm not doing. We're not doing that. We're not doing it. That's not happening. People are crazy. What time we got? We've been going on 2 hours. I'm just talking. We haven't been doing live streams. Expect the morning coffee. It's consistent. We're gonna be a lot more consistent. We're gonna be doing a lot more videos. We might do a show tonight where I'm just get on and just talk crap about whatever. Maybe y'all want to play some gaming? I might game this morning with y'all. Nah, cause I haven't ate breakfast. If I eat breakfast, I would game. I didn't eat breakfast yet. When I get over here, I'm gonna eat breakfast. I'm not sure what to eat though. Be honest with you, I don't got no more chicken or turkey bacon. I'm out of chicken and turkey bacon. But I got like 5 dozen eggs in the refrigerator, fam. I don't need no more eggs, yo. Sheesh. And one of the damn things is the one that got the 3 rows of eggs in it. I don't need no more eggs, man. Sheesh. So I gotta eat some eggs, man. God dang it. But gratefully, eggs you could keep in the refrigerator for like months. Like you keep eggs for a long time. So I don't need to buy eggs to the end of the winter. I mean, end of the summer probably, because I don't really eat eggs that much, man. Sheesh. But I have been frying chicken lately, and I do use that wash to make the chicken. You flour the chicken and you put it in the wash and you flour it again. So that's what I've been using the eggs for. And then I've been have the onions too. So you chop the onions up and you put the onions in the wash, and then you fry them up. Then you have the nice onions to go on top of the chicken sandwich, and it's hitting. You know what I'm saying? Man, I gotta get some more of that chipotle sauce. I don't got no more chipotle sauce. The chipotle mayonnaise sauce. I think you could make that, right? I know what I'm gonna make it. I got mayo in there. I think I need some couple of ingredients. I'm gonna make my own sauce. Anyway, my refrigerator is crazy right now. Like I got a lot of food in it, but I also got like a crap load of drinks. So I be sitting around here all day. I don't need that much orange juice. Oh Lord. Anyway, we gotta pray for people, and I'm back into that. We gotta pray for people. So let's pray for the Paps of the world. Let's pray for the 50s of the world. Let's pray for that dude in the chat that hate God. This guy, let's pray for him. We gotta pray for people like that. This guy right here, he don't like God. We gotta pray for people like this. You know what I'm saying? You gotta pray for them. What's this? Oh yeah, I don't feel like doing that. Yeah, you gotta pray for them. All right, you gotta pray for these people. You gotta pray for them. You know what I'm saying? But just so we could be clear, all of y'all people that run around Coney Island helping these individuals, they hate God. They're literally attacking me because I'm always, one of the reasons why they're literally attacking me is because I always talk about God. They hate God. So when I see y'all out here pushing whatever narrative that they're pushing, I'm assuming you hate God too. Just keeping it honest. Can we talk about? I wanna move on and talk a little bit about Trump. Well, not really about Trump, but about the situation that's going on in Iran. I want to talk about that for a minute. And I want to be clear about something. I'm gonna give it a real quick break. I want to put this screen up right here, and I want to give it a couple of seconds. We'll be right back, so that I have a good point of reference if I decide to edit this video. Give me 1 second. Yeah, we're back. Sorry about that. All right, so I just got it in my heart right now to say shout out to the Holding Hands Ministry and shout out to the Coney Island Gospel Assembly. Just got it in my heart to say that. I do a lot of work with them in our community out here, and I love doing the work with them in our community. And so I also have to say thank God that I had a falling out with those individuals on the internet, because I wouldn't be doing all of this work that I'm doing for God right now. I'd be spending all of my time and energy helping those individuals, you know, do things that they wanted to do. Like, so I'm going to just say something real quick. Why? I just want to say something real quick. So if I ever pull up to anything that you're doing and I start helping you, that's from the heart. It's not for no other reason. And I wouldn't even be in Coney Island right now if those people didn't turn on me and do some of the evil things that they were doing. I wouldn't even be in Coney Island right now. The whole reason why I'm in Coney Island is because they thought that they were going to make me homeless. They tried to do some evil stuff to me, and God looked out. I don't want to go into it. Maybe one day we write a book. It's book worthy. It's television worthy. It's movie worthy. You understand? It's movie worthy. Maybe one day we talk about it. Maybe one day when we get to the other side of this conversation, I explain to you what I'm going through, and how God is blessing me and how God is looking out for me and how I'm responding to the love that God is sending me through the wonderful people who I interact with out here in Coney Island. There are a ton of wonderful, great people out here in Coney Island. Shout out to Miss Robin. Shout out to Miss Pam. Shout out to Coach Knight. Shout out to shout out to my homie, Pastor Joels and his wife, Melina. Shout out to Leon. That's my homie too. Salute. You know, shout out to Miss Priscilla. And everything going on over there at the Coney Island Sharks. There's a couple of other people, but you know, I don't want to. I'm gonna. You know, shout out to these people. Shout out to my neighbor. Shout out to my neighbor, lady that live next door, Miss June. She is so sweet, but she's not. Don't fuck with her. She's shout out to my neighbors, just in general, that live in my community in the surrounding area. Shout out to the Seagate police. Shout out to just Seagate in general. Just, God put me in a place that is allowing for me to do the things in my heart. And I don't think I could be more grateful. I mean, I think I could feel more grateful. I don't know, I feel he put me somewhere where I could do the things that's in my heart. And I love it. So for anybody that thinks that I want to, like, oh man, you could have did a podcast, you could have, no. Because it's never been about money. It was about money with you. It was never about money with me. And if what my life is right now isn't proof of that, I don't understand how to explain this to you. It has never been about money with me. When I was helping y'all with whatever I was helping y'all with, it was never about money. It was just, I thought you guys was my friends. And I wanted to help you do the things that you like doing. That's it. When I go help Coach, I consider Coach a friend. So I go help him do the things that he's trying to do. When I go work for the church, first of all, that's for God. When I go help the pastor, that's for God. But he's my friend, so I want to help him do the things that he want to do. When I go help Leon or Miss Pam, but they don't really ever ask for help because they never need help. I have to beg them to allow me to help them. And sometimes they say yeah. And it's just fulfilling. I don't know how to explain it. It feels so good to help people do things that they like doing. I don't know. That's just me. Maybe it's just me, man. Maybe it's just me. Yeah. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. I'm just different, fam. Y'all fumbled the bag. I was the bag. Not monetarily, but I'm always trying to help my friends attain happiness. Because I like when my friends are happy. I don't got a wife to make happy, so I do it for my friends. When I get a wife, then I got a wife to make happy, and that's dope. But right now I don't got a wife, so I try to make my friends happy. If that makes any sense. The Bible says, love your wife like you love Christ. The Bible says, love your wife like Christ loved the church. I don't got a wife, so I love my friends like Christ loved the church. And when I get a wife, I'm still going to love my friends. She's going to obviously be ahead of my friends, but, I love loving people like Christ loves the church. And that's why it's important that I just don't date anybody. And I get it that people don't get that. I get it that people don't get that. But I get it. So that's all that matters. I'm just moving that. I know what? I'm going to make this a little smaller. That's kind of big. All right, let's move that a little smaller. That doesn't equate money for me. Just so we could be clear. That equates hard work, determination, and perseverance. With that being said, I kind of want to get off of the live. This stuff I want to do. I haven't had breakfast this morning. I need a wife. I haven't had breakfast this morning. And before you think, oh, he needs a wife because he just... No, I need to help her. There's another reason why there's a ton of y'all would never consider to be a wife. Y'all not helpers. Like, why would a man that's a masculine man date a woman that's not a help wife? Like, not a helpmate? That don't make sense. Like, I'm a whole masculine man, a real masculine man. Why would I date a woman that's not a helpmate? Why would I date a woman that I need to help? Papoose. You the helpmate. Your woman has authority over you. When it comes out, if it comes out that she actually did cheat on you, are you going to stay with her or are you going to leave her? Because I'm 100% certain, 100% certain that if you do leave her, you're not going to get an opportunity at a chick that got money like this again. So now you got to make a choice. Because even women that run, I gotta eat. Even women that run around and try to be the male want to feel feminine. You get it? Why you think so much of these studs come back over? That's why so many of these studs come back over. One of the reasons, because there's no feeling in the world for a woman but to feel protected, secure, and pretty. There's probably no better feeling for a woman other than, having children. How is she gonna feel protected if she's got to be the man in the relationship? How's she gonna feel secure if she got to be the man in the relationship? How's she gonna feel protected if she got to be the man in the relationship? I'm not the dude that's gonna be pampering you and running around giving you all types of different pampering. I do believe in giving my woman a massage. We should be doing that to each other. Right? I'm not talking about sexual stuff. I'm talking about real massage, just so we can be clear. Like real massages and shit. I do think stuff like that we should be doing. Don't get it confused. I do think, there's nothing wrong with setting up room for your woman to feel pretty, because that's what that's about. You want to set up space and room for your woman to feel feminine. Right? That's what you want. I promise you that's what you want. A lot of y'all having problems with the women that y'all with because your women have to be masculine. That's it. That's really what the issue is. She feels like she has to, even if she doesn't have to be. She feels like she has to be masculine. That's what the issue is. A lot of people gonna tell you, yo, this nigga gay, look how he talking, because they don't want you to understand what the truth is. And the truth is, the most powerful asset that any woman has is her femininity. If anybody is telling you anything other than that, they are lying to you. That's a woman's most powerful asset. And God did that on purpose. God made it so actual real masculine men don't want to hurt pretty things. I don't know no better way to explain that to you. A man that will hurt a pretty thing is feminine. Or pushed to a level that he's masculine, but he's pushed to that was to find out. You understand? But other than that, a man that is masculine is going to put you in your feminine. And he's not going to be trying to. It's just going to happen. And that's what women be talking about when they be like, you got to be masculine for me to be. Y'all hanging around the wrong niggas. because you should just be feminine. But I do agree that men have to create room for women to be able to be feminine. And we don't do that anymore because so many men are feminine themselves. I don't get along with y'all feminine niggas for the most part. Just so we can be clear. I don't get along with y'all. I don't try to either, just so we can be clear. I don't try to. I don't try to. And I want to say this much. A lot of y'all that's dating these feminine dudes, yeah, they probably banging their homeboy. The dude is probably banging his homeboy. Absolutely. They doing that now like crazy. Like, this is the new thing. Another reason why I don't have that many male friends. It's rampant. And then y'all inviting these dudes into y'all house that like other dudes, and then y'all got sons. I want them to make it so that if you touch a child, you are unalived. I want you to get the maximum penalty. I don't want you to be castrated. I don't want you to get 100 years. I want them to just be like, we done with this one. And obviously, I'm talking about situations where there is no question. If there's question, then you give them years, because there's question. But if, like, there's no question, there's video evidence of you doing the thing, there's actual evidence of you just be unalived. You on the dark net exchanging stuff, just get them up out of here. You online trying to pick up little kids, and then you get we're just gonna try you, find it, boom, you're unalive federally. That's what I think we should do. Immediately. I think that this should be something we start tomorrow. That's my opinion. I think that if you have been graping women, I think the same thing. I think if you've been graping men, I think anybody doing any graping, I think they should just be unalived. Also, I think if you lie about getting raped and it's proven that it's a lie, I think you should do the rest of your life in jail. I think you should get like 25 years. I think that if a man or a woman lie, I'm not talking about the person say that the thing happened and it can't be proven. That's different. I'm saying a person say that the thing be happened and then it's proven without a shadow of a doubt that it did not happen. I think they should be unalived. I think they should spend the rest of their time in prison. This person cannot be trusted to be in public. Man or woman. I'm a conservative. And this is because of what the Bible says. Has nothing to do with Republicans. And this is the way that I feel. Look at all of those people, and just we're gonna talk politics for a second. Look at all of those people that keep talking about put Trump in jail, here pedo, and then you find out all of those individuals that's saying that actually are pedos. Now what do y'all think? What do y'all think about the person that tried to say that about me? Now I could tell you some stuff about that person. I could tell you a lot of things about that person, but we're not gonna do that. We're gonna give them grace. We're going to give them grace. But that person, morally corrupt. And some of the most moral... I haven't spoken to them in years, but I'd be surprised if they don't have their daughters doing OnlyFans. Like that much morally corrupt. You understand what I'm saying? And I wouldn't be surprised if their daughters are doing OnlyFans that they aren't doing it with their daughters. Morally corrupt. You understand? But I'm not going to mention them. I'm not going to talk about them. I'm going to give them grace. But those are the people that's accusing people of doing stuff. The people that's actually doing this stuff. And they just accuse people of doing it so you don't look at them. Just so we could be clear, if I was as morally corrupt as these people say, then why am I not out here trying to bang everything? Why am I so particular? And this isn't a new particularness with me. I've always been this way. I've always been pretty particular with who I date. This isn't new. Oh, no, we're just gonna leave this. All right, I'm not gonna. All right. Isaiah 66:9. In the same way, I will not cause pain without allowing something new to be born. It's crazy that that's my word for today. In any regard. I think that that's the problem 50 is having, by the way. Everybody beefing with 50. Not everybody beefing with 50, but a lot of these people that's beefing with 50 got street mentality or feminine behavior. And to be perfectly honest with you, a lot of street mentality nowadays is just feminine behavior. What's one of the street, I'll break it down. What's one of the street things, right? What's one of the things that we see street niggas doing all the time? And this is not a knock on anything. I'm not talking about the dudes that's outside standing around trying to, get their work off because they feeding their family. It is what it is, right? We're not doing that. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about the dudes that they're just literally outside to gossip. There's nothing wrong with standing on the street corner. I stood on the street corner drinking 40s with my friends for years. And we didn't even gossip. We just stood outside making jokes with each other and laughing and joking and drinking beer and passing the beer back and forth and laughing and joking. Yo, what y'all want to do next? But they don't do that no more. They stand on the corner. They stand outside. They gossip about everybody that walk past. Who does that? Women. You want to know another trait women do? Stand around figuring out how they're going to upset other people. Women, that's a feminine trait. It's not a masculine trait. So a lot of that is in our culture now. It's part of our culture. Being feminine. They've tricked you. They've made you think that anytime somebody is out here doing anything at all that's masculine, that we gotta hate it. So if you outside minding your business, there's something wrong with you. You weird. Why ain't you gossiping? Why ain't you in everybody's business? Why ain't you talking about people? You weird. You get it? Why ain't you trying to bang every broad you see? Why ain't you saying this? Why ain't you doing that? Why ain't you acting just like us? That's weird. That's weird. I can't even remember the last time I asked somebody. I can't remember the last time I asked somebody what was going on, like in the block or any stupid shit like that. I can't even remember the last time I asked somebody anything like that. Probably like years and years and years and years ago, and it was probably for a good reason, just not a random me trying to be nosy reason. Like I don't get it. I don't understand why we can't, as a culture, decide that men are men and women are women, and men should act like men and women should act like women. I don't understand why we can't decide that as a culture. Okay, you got some gay friends that you don't want to offend. Whatever. I'm not talking about offending them. I'm not talking about going up to your gay friends saying that they got to be ungay. I'm not doing none of that. I'm just talking about the baseline behavior of people in the hood. Why does it always have to be something feminine? Why did it always have to be something feminine? I don't get it. I literally had somebody convince somebody. I don't know if somebody convinced them or if they thought of this absolute insanity of their own. But I had somebody come up to me and say that I either was like messaging my own chat and saying things so I could respond back to it. I don't do that. I have never, in the history of me being on YouTube or on any platform ever on social media, been trying to talk to myself on the platform and pretending like I wasn't, like chatting in the chat, pretending like I'm someone else while chatting. I have never, in Jesus' name, amen, I have never but I had somebody convince somebody I was doing that. That's why you have to see me turn my chat off for like 3 months. Like 2 months. I think I turned the chat off for like 2 months. Because I'm not doing that, fam. And we're not doing this. I'm not entertaining your insanity. I don't want to deal with that. I don't know who told you that insanity. I have no idea. It's not my business who told you that. I don't know why you're thinking that. Because I don't know why you're thinking that. But as far as I'm concerned, that's crazy. As far as I'm concerned. And yes, I keep my Bible at arm's length. Shout out to Sister Bonnie. She's the one that gave me this Bible. Shout out to Sister Bonnie. She gave me this Bible. Yeah, nah, I don't do that. But I have people accusing me of doing that. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? I literally just sit around and wait for the next lie. That's another reason why I don't talk to people. I literally just sit around and wait for the next lie to come out. That's literally what I do. That's why I don't talk to nobody. Because the more people I talk to, the more room they got to create lies. So that's another reason why if you see me in Coney Island walking and I might say hi and I don't never stop and I don't never talk to no, that is the reason. Because I 100% think that if I talk to you, you or somebody that see me talking to you is going to make up a lie about me and say I'm saying or doing things I'm not doing. And then now I got to deal with that for 2 or 3 months. And I'd rather just not talk to you. I'm fine with not talking to you. Perfectly fine. I promise you. I promise you. People is like, oh, we got it. You did not get me. I promise you. I don't care. I literally don't care. One of the main reasons why I do YouTube is because I want to be able to work in an area so I don't never have to go be around people. So all you're doing is creating more reason for me not to talk to people. So that's literally what I want, just so we can be clear. Literally why I do YouTube. Literally why I do social media. To create an avenue of income so I never have to see people or talk to them. Yeah. So every time I go outside and people do stuff, we're like, we gotta make him not want to come around. Nigga, I already don't want to come around here. I'm literally here because I don't got no choice, because I gotta go do a thing. I promise you, I already don't want to come around here. I promise you. People crazy, yo. People crazy, yo. People crazy. If I had it my way, I prayed to God. I'm going to say a couple of things. So I prayed to God. I pray to God a lot. I get everything I pray for almost. Like I literally get everything I pray for. It's crazy. It's so crazy that I really don't pray to God about much anymore, because that's being ungrateful. Like, he's literally showing up, giving me everything I pray for. So I don't pray for things unless it's important. So when I first started doing social media, before I ever made a buck, I probably I made a couple of bucks, because I didn't make $1 on social media until after I was doing it for like a year, or like near a year, probably a little over a year. I don't think I made $1. My channel wasn't monetized, nothing. So I had heard about Dave Chappelle, and basically Dave Chappelle lives in a town, and he basically pays for everything, make sure that the town is up. He spends his money making sure that the town is good. He takes care of the town. And so they was like trying to get like a Walmart or something, was trying to move in there, and he didn't want the Walmart to move in there. So he told them that if they move that Walmart in, then he's not going to be, giving money to the town the way that he was. I take care of us. And I prayed to God to hope to be in a position like that. And right now, if I do start making money, like real money, I'm in that situation. I'm 100% going to be spending my money on my community. 100%. That's not of question. I prayed for this. I prayed to be in a town. I prayed for this. So when I have these conversations with people and I say God is real, you don't understand the things I've prayed for that have actually happened while I have such, first of all, I already had strong faith. Just so we can be clear. Ever since a child. But you don't understand the things that I've prayed for that have actually materialized. There's only one thing that I don't have right now that I've actually prayed for, and that's a wife. Every single thing else other that I've prayed for, I either have or I'm in a position to possess when the time comes right. And that might also be the wife situation. When the time comes right. Every single thing. I wish I could just talk to y'all and explain it, but I can't right now. I gotta wait. But when I explain it, there's gonna be a lot of y'all, especially the people that hate me, y'all gonna be like, damn, we really did fuck up. But I pray for that. And just so we can have a caveat, the only issue I saw is I want to live in the city. God moved me to a gated community. That is exactly the way that I want it to be. I have great neighbors. I just got to get the money now so I could invest in my community. That's it. And until I get the money to invest in my community, what am I doing? Physically going out into my community and investing my time. God said, and this is what I feel, I need for you to learn how to live on little. So when I give you a lot, you don't keep for yourself what I give you. I'm going to say that again. I feel like God said to me, I need you to learn how to live on a little. So when I give you a lot, you don't keep it for yourself. is good. God is good. I am going to get off now. We're going to be going live again today at some point. But I think I'm going to go say what's up to Coach today. I might go say what's up to Coach today at the center. I really do miss working with them. I'm just being honest with you. I don't know how that's going to work out because there's caveats involved. And I really don't know how it's going to work out. But I do miss working with them. It would be nice to work with them on and off. Probably not the same way that I was working with them previously, because right now I'm doing a lot of work with the church and with the pastors and stuff over there, so I don't have the time. But I think God created it like this on purpose, because I don't want to say that, but just make sure that when somebody is coming around to do good, don't allow other people to run that person off. Because Coach didn't try to run me off, but there were other people involved over there, and some of them are just parents that was trying to like run me away from the program for whatever the reason was. So I'm not there, and by me leaving the program, I started working with the church more, and I love working with the kids, and I pray to be in a position to be a positive influence in our community more than I am now, even though I think I'm a pretty decent influence. You know, I pray that God gives me the strength, gives me the guidance, gives me the knowledge, and gives me the will to even do more in my community than I'm currently doing. I don't think I'm doing enough. I never think I'm doing enough. So I'm never going to think I'm doing enough. I'm just never going to think that. But I pray that, don't allow people. I pray that God gives me the will and the perseverance. I enjoyed it, and I would like to get back to it, but I don't feel like God is sending me there at the moment for that. I think something else is going on. I'm not sure what it is, but I'll talk to Coach, and we'll see what we can work with, because I do miss it, and a lot. Not a little, a lot. But I also understand that my mission for God is more important than my mission for humans. It just is what it is. My mission for God is just more important than my mission for humans. So if you're not a part of the mission that I have for God, sometimes I'm going to leave. And then when God gives me a break, I'll come back. But then when God needs me, I'm going to leave again. So I would love if that became part of my mission that God sets me on and keeps me there, because I enjoy being there. But God said some things to me, and considering so many other things that I believe God said to me that have actually materialized and happened, I have no reason to not believe in the things that I believe God is telling me. I have no reason to not believe these things. So when a human being tries to encourage me that maybe you're wrong about what God thinks, but God has been spot on with everything else, what am I supposed to think? I'm not going to choose a human over God. I'm just not going to do it. That's not a thing that's going to happen. And sometimes God tells you to go do a thing, but he says it can't be done with force. Because if it's done with force, then the overall objective can't be accomplished. And I believe that that's, without me saying too much, what this situation is. It's not something that could be done with force. And it has to be something that's accepted. Because if it isn't accepted, then the overall objective won't be met. And sometimes things are done just to show the power of God. But humans say that goes against my principles. Yeah, sometimes God does miracles. With that being said, I love y'all. Go out into the world, do something worth doing, and stamp God's name on it. I'm out.